Panhandle Centers. With me today, I've got Myra Argamanis. She is one of my co-workers that she's actually works in our jail services program. What a lot of people don't understand is that jails were probably not designed to treat mental health issues and probably not designed to treat medical issues, but yet they are. And thankfully we have a great program, and you're working in that to really bring mental health treatment into the jails for the people who need it. So can you tell us just a little bit about that and how you are helping people with mental health issues that find themselves in one of our county jails?
So we're really working with law enforcement outside of jails and inside, and identifying them early on, getting them connected to treatment as quick as possible, working with the judicial system and trying to divert them out and connected to community resources without a lapse in treatment.
So it's not a circumstance where people aren't accountable for criminal behavior. There's still the accountability piece, but we also want to bring in a treatment piece as well, in case that's something that's on board. How do you know when someone has a mental health issue when they come in the jail? Who tells you?
So law enforcement will tell us, family could tell us, a judge may tell us, medical may tell us, or we have a CCQ system can tell us, which is just a state system.
Now what's a CCQ?
It's a continuity of care query.
Okay, so really statewide, you have some resources if people have been in the system before and they have a mental health issue.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's different avenues to tell us. It's there's so many ways where we can find out if somebody has a mental health issue.
What if I'm a person that really has been convicted of a pretty serious felony, or I find myself incarcerated and maybe I'm waiting a transfer to Texas Department of Criminal Justice system? Am I eligible to get mental health treatment? I mean, you would think a lot of people who are incarcerated at least suffer from some depression, may have some thoughts about killing themselves. What can you do for those folks?
So the grants that we have with Texas Panhandle Centers, we are very limited to what we can do with certain regards to that extent. But within jail standards, you have to provide mental health treatment to all of your inmates. And so the jails do have policies in place where they do have mental health providers. So just because you're going to go to prison, regardless of what charge you're being accused of or you're being sentenced for, you do have a right to mental health treatment.
And the way I understand it too is just not only like at the city level, at a county level, and at the state level, we all are on the same page about making sure that people have treatment available to them.
Absolutely.
Rather than not having treatment. And that to us as professional means medication, talking to a case manager, and having that support system even while you're being locked up or working through the court process. Tell me a little bit about Senate Bill 292. That is a program that addresses people's substance use disorders while they're incarcerated. So what do you guys do with that?
So that is a partnership that we have with Randall County, where they start COPSD treatment while they're in jail, and it is not a quick get out of jail card, as some people may think. And it's like you said, it is kind of an accountability. So what they start psychiatric treatment, they start groups, they start individual. It's workbook and it's evidence-based. And
so when we're talking about COPSD, that's co-occurring psychiatric disorders in conjunction with substance use problems.
Yes.
Right. So that's kind of that whole ball of wax.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just wanted to kind of clear that.
And a lot of people who come into jail do happen to have co-occurring psychiatric and substance use disorders. We are at higher rates than the average population, that people they come into jail a little bit more frequently. And
Is it important to you in that setting, which came first? The substance use or the psychiatric problems, or is that something that you concern yourselves with?
not while they're in jail. No.
Okay.
No. If they're struggling with both, no.
And really, you want to treat the people where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And even in that setting, when they're locked up, you have a good partnership for this particular program, really to start treatment inside. And so what happens when the person gets ready to be released back out to the community? Maybe they're on probation or they have a bond. So what happens then?
So there's a referral sent to us, to TPC, and they're reviewed by the case managers, and there's pre-release planning involved, and they start looking at all of their needs and start developing kind of where are they going to go, what medications are we planning on discharging them with, so that there is a greater chance of success for reintegration. So a lot of them probably didn't have a lot of resources in place, which is why they kept coming back into the system. And so we try to have all of that already planned and try to set up so that we can have a better chance for success whenever they get released back into the community.
So it's all about continuity.
Mm-hmm.
You want those services to start while people are incarcerated, continue back out into the community, and also reduce the chance of maybe the person coming back to get locked up.
Yes.
Right? So we put the supports in place, hopefully offer treatment to people, so maybe they don't have to return to jail, and maybe there's not that criminal involvement any longer.
And the same treatment that they were receiving and the same COPS-D, like the same medications, the same COPS-D groups that they were in are the same treatment that they're receiving when they get released. So there is no change. Sometimes a change in providers makes a difference too. So all of that stays the same, just different setting.
Myra, thanks for all the work that you're doing out in the jails, and we certainly do appreciate it. As always, if we have anyone that's experiencing any crisis situation, suicidal thoughts, really just needing some help, please call our crisis hotline at 806-359-6699.